Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Franchise Interviews. For over 6 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship. Listen to interviews with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys. And now, welcome your host, Marty McDermott, and Franchise Interviews.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 6 years now, we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott, and I'm the president of Franchise Interviews, and we have a great show today. We're meeting with Dave Schafers of Meineke. And Dave is the senior vice president of business development for Driven Brands Incorporated. Formerly known as the muffler repair experts, Meineke has evolved its menu of product offerings to meet the demands of the changing marketplace. So we're going to talk to Dave about that in just a moment on Franchise Interviews. So stick around because we have a great show.
Are you looking for a franchise that delivers? Businesses will always need shipping, and for more than 25 years, loyal customers have depended on Unishippers for reliable savings and exceptional customer service. Unishippers is focused on just one thing: helping small and medium-sized businesses save time and money on all their shipping needs. And as the largest reseller of complete shipping services in the country, we have the buying power to ensure that we succeed. The Unishippers franchise offers low startup costs, no equipment or real estate required because they're not retail, residual income, and a quality of life and work-life balance. For more information on becoming a Unishippers franchisee, go to www.unishippers.com and click Franchise Opportunities or call Franchise Development at 801-708-5822. That's 801-708-5822.
Are you one of those special people who are willing to go after your dreams and goals? Are you ready to fulfill that dream of owning your own business with the security of a proven brand? The opportunity to take control of your future and own a Rita's Italian Ice franchise is within your reach.
Rita's is seeking success-oriented individuals who are ready to make a change in their life, and Rita's offers unparalleled training and support to assure your success. And did you know the frozen treat industry is a recession-proof industry, and there are Rita's in 23 states currently with 540 stores open. Rita's Italian Ice has been around for 25 years and is listed as a top-performing franchise by the Wall Street Journal.
Now here's the really good part. Rita's Italian Ice is a unique and amazing taste treat. It's smoother than a snow cone, and it combines ice with real fresh fruit. The real fruit adds dramatically to the taste, and it comes in over 40 flavors. The ice and fruit are mixed on site and made fresh daily, and it is delicious.
You'll want to know more about this exciting and successful franchise opportunity. Go to www.ownaritas.com and get all your questions answered. That's www.ownaritas.com to take control of your dreams and future today. You don't want to wait any longer to be a part of this adventure. www.ownaritas.com.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 6 years now, we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott, and I'm the president of Franchise Interviews. And as we were saying earlier, we have a great show today. We're meeting with Dave Schafers of Meineke, and Dave is the senior vice president of business development for Driven Brands. Formerly known as the muffler repair experts, Meineke has evolved its menu of product offerings to meet the demands of the changing marketplace. Hey Dave, good morning. How you doing today?
Good morning, Mark. Marty, doing good. Getting hungry listening to those Rita's commercials.
I know, that's what we usually do. We torture our guests. Where are you calling from today, Dave?
Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the corporate office for Meineke.
That's right. That's good. How's the weather down there today?
It's cold. It's cold.
Is it really? Winter's
it
coming,
is.
Right?
I'm a California boy, so anything below 50.
Oh, there you go. Well, that makes sense. I was really excited to have you on the show, Dave. I'll kind of date myself. I mean, I remember as a young kid going to Meineke with my dad, and I remember how often they used to advertise on television. I remember the old commercials. I could probably recite them to you, So, I mean, Meineke was always known as the muffler repair experts. How has Meineke evolved its menu of services to, I guess you could say, meet the growing consumer demands today?
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit. They moved from cold-rolled steel to when they moved mufflers to that type of metal, that business really went away. If you go back 15 years ago, 90% of our business was really the exhaust. Today it's less than 10%. And where things have gone is less about the menu and really more about the consumer and providing a solid consumer experience for everybody that comes into the store. So oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, a lot of the common high rate of incident services are what we focus on. But the big thing is when the customer comes in is that you get them in the first day, but then you keep them for life.
And Meineke has a strong brand name, too. I mean, I think everyone would agree with that. I mean, there's probably very few people who have not heard of Meineke. I mean, you're pretty much, I think you have the whole United States covered, don't you, Dave?
We do, yeah. Brand recognition for us is just over 95%, but we do have the whole U.S. covered.
That's amazing. What changes have taken place in the industry, Dave? I mean, are they keeping their cars longer today due to the economy and things like that? What's going on in the industry?
Yeah, it's kind of a perfect storm. You've got the big thing for us is the number of miles driven each year. So vehicles today, if you go back 10 years ago, average vehicle was 8.5 years old. Today it's 11.2. So the amount of repairs by the number of mileage driven, by the age of the vehicle is great for us. So in the economy, whether it's good or bad, people need to get to work, and so it's been good for us.
That's fantastic. When I was reading about Meineke as far as what's going on with the company, it looks like there's some interesting growth projections. What are Meineke's growth projections over the next 5 years, Dave?
Our goal, and I'm sure you hear it from every company, is to double the size of our organization over the next 5 years, and that really is in terms of unit growth and opening new centers, but also raising the unit economics at the store level, increasing sales, improving bottom line. But our goal is to get to 1,800 stores within the next 5 years.
Wow, that's fantastic. It probably suggests that you're going to be all over the place, I imagine. I know it was challenging setting this interview up with you, because it sounds like you are all over the place, aren't you?
We are. We try to be strategic. We have markets that we're looking to develop, but we are also in acquisition. So we've purchased a company out in Seattle called Waltz and have just converted 20 stores over to Meineke.
Wow, that's fantastic. What markets are you targeting presently, or what you're aggressively going after, Dave?
Our big markets right now, we're focused on Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles. South Florida is a huge opportunity for us. Boston, Philadelphia, and Atlanta are some of the bigger markets that we're looking at right now.
That's fantastic. And this is more like single or multi-unit franchisees, Dave?
That's a good question. The company has grown on kind of an owner-operator model. What we've really tried to do is to provide a really nice opportunity and a competitive opportunity for a multi-unit operator. So I'd say the focus today, if we're going to truly develop markets out, we've got to have people that are capable of doing more than one location. So we do both, but the multi-unit operator is definitely attractive to us right now as we try to increase the growth at Meineke.
That's fantastic. I read also that I guess you guys recently signed a deal in the Phoenix area. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that.
We did. That's the first multi-package deal we've done. We've awarded 20 licenses to a really terrific franchisee out in Phoenix, and the goal is to open 20 stores over the next 10 years. I can tell you that this franchisee has already identified 6 locations and is going to blow that development schedule out, but a really good operator, runs a terrific operation, so we're proud to grow with them.
That's fantastic. Is Meineke offering any financing or like incentive programs, Dave?
We do. We obviously just want to say congratulations to the veterans out there. We do offer a veteran program, a discount of 25%. But we also have a program where if a candidate buys additional licenses, we discount the second license from 30 down to 15, and then we also give half or a full year of half royalties. So it's a pretty good incentive. It's designed to not just to sell the license, but to actually get the store opened on a certain time frame. And if they meet the development schedule, then we offer that.
That's fantastic. What characteristics does Meineke look for in their franchisees, Dave?
That's a good question too. We're looking for people who can follow a system, and our saying around here is flawless execution wins. And so having people that can follow a system or candidates that can follow a system is really important. If you look at the owner-operator model, obviously you got to have somebody who's got people skills, who can communicate, who can manage, and then can relate to the customer. But today we're seeing folks from the private equity world coming to us who are not the people behind the counter, so to speak, but they're out there developing markets. So I think you got to be business-minded. You've got to be sensitive to the consumer. Our business, even though it's automotive, it's very much customer-driven, and people who get that tend to do well.
The technology has also changed significantly, hasn't it? I mean, again, I just remember, telling you the story of going into, a Meineke with my dad when I was a kid, and things were a lot different back then. I mean, how has technology played a role, with Meineke, I guess, over the last several years?
Well, it's played a role at the store level because the amount of equipment and the type of equipment is very different than what we had 10, 15 years ago. So the technicians need to be trained. We have scanners that can diagnose just about anything. But then vehicles today are made much more complicated, and so the do-it-yourself customer is going away little by little as cars become much more complex.
That's interesting. What's the training like for, I guess you could say, the new franchisees, Dave? I mean, for your single unit or your new franchisees coming aboard with Meineke, how does that work? I mean, they typically come down to Charlotte.
They do. We have Meineke University down here in Charlotte, and I'll tell you, less than 5% of our franchisees have any automotive background.
Wow.
So we spend a lot of time down at the university teaching them about customer experience, about how the store should be set up, about how to staff and manage and market. But it's a wonderful university. It's 3 weeks. We actually pay for the flight, for the hotel, out of the license fee that's collected up front.
Wow, that's great. Must be an interesting job for you, too. I always admire your type of position, where you get to see, franchisees expand their business and kind of grow. There must be some real value there to your job, I suspect. Yeah,
I tell you, it's fun. And this year we've got the biggest growth year we've ever had. We'll open 80 stores this year, projected to do over 100 next year. And in our space, in the automotive space, there's really nobody who's growing at this level. So it's definitely fun.
Yeah, no, it does. It sounds like it's a really exciting time, at Meineke. So I think that's fantastic. The majority of our listeners, we call them aspiring franchipreneurs, Dave. They have it in their mind that, they want to go into franchising. And we've discovered over the last 7 years, a lot of them just don't even know where to begin. What advice would you give to them? Because you deal with a lot of prospective franchisees.
Well, I think the first thing is understand why you're getting into business. Whether it's you want to leave a job where you travel or you don't like your boss, but you got to understand why you're getting into the business. 2 is you've got to, I would recommend that you go with a business where there's a strong industry. Automotive industry for us is a $300 billion industry, and it's a very stable industry. So to me, it's not a very fatty type of business. It's a necessity. So I think that's important. And 2 is really understand, if you're right for franchising, entrepreneurship. And that means you've got to be able to follow a system. You've got to be a brand expert and promote the brand that you go to. But I think going into business for the right reasons is really important. I think some people we tend to talk to are kind of knee-jerk about what's going on with their life and their circumstances, but really plan it out and have a plan and execute it.
Yeah, I think that's a great response. It's amazing, throughout the years, like yourself, I meet a lot of, aspiring, entrepreneurs, and I find like the main reason they say is they just want to be their own boss, and that's it, and it's not really enough reason to go into your own business, if you're tired of working.
Yeah, and it works, and we've got some incredible single unit franchisees that do really, really well, but as you go into it, you got to have an exit strategy before you buy. You got to really put some thought into it. But today, we're very excited. We're seeing a whole different level of buyer because we're focused on bigger projects, and so it's been very fun.
That's fantastic. What's the best way for our listeners to get more information on becoming a franchisee, Dave? Is there any websites they should go to or any numbers they should call?
Yeah, they can go to Meineke.com or MeinekeFranchise.com, and all the information's on there.
That's fantastic. I want to thank you again, Dave. It was great to finally have you on the show, and I'd really like to invite you back next year as you continue to grow. It sounds like you're going to be pretty busy over the next year. I
appreciate it, Marty. You can buy one.
That's true. Thanks, Dave. You have a great day. We'll be talking to you soon.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Franchisers, are you looking to reach aspiring entrepreneurs looking to buy a franchise? Are you looking to reach a highly educated audience on franchising? For over 6 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship through our website, franchiseinterviews.com, where you can hear and read interviews as well as get tips from some of the most successful sources in franchising. Our weekly franchise radio show where each week you get to hear a new interview with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys, and our podcast, Great Quotes in Franchising. For more information, go to franchiseinterviews.com or call us at 610-905-2919. That's 610-905-2919.
Need a business loan? Talk to Diamond Financial Services, the experts in franchise financing nationwide. Whether you're looking to start a franchise, acquire an existing franchise, or expand your territory through opening new locations, Diamond Financial stands by your side start to finish. From pre-qualification to packaging and presenting your application to securing a financial commitment and through the loan closing process, Diamond Financial is there. While you're waiting, thousands of others are making their financial dreams come true. Don't wait any longer. Pre-qualify now by completing a confidential, no-obligation financial analysis. Let's face it, traditional banks just aren't in the business of financing small business. At Diamond Financial, we specialize in securing franchise loans from $100,000 to $3 million and equipment leasing up to $150,000. Let us help you get started. Go to www.franchisefunding.net or call 877-508-2274. That's franchisefunding.net, 877-508-2274.
Hi everyone, this is Marty McDermott from Franchise Interviews, and welcome to another edition of Great Quotes in Franchising, where each podcast you get to hear a great quote in franchising. We've been hosting Franchise Interviews many years now. We've had some incredible guests on the show. Today you're going to get to hear from Todd Leff, and Todd is the CEO and president of a franchise called Hand and Stone, and Todd has many, many years experience, and we always like to ask the veterans in franchising, what is your advice to our listeners as far as their quest to buy a franchise? And I thought Todd's response was quite brilliant. He narrowed it down to 3 questions you should ask, and we're going to hear that right now.
Spending significant time out there, really marketing the business, and that's where they can add value, to growing the business.
That makes sense. So you've been doing this such a long time. The questions I was excited to ask you is what advice would you give to our listeners on buying a franchise, Todd?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I will give you my 3 questions that I tell every new prospect. These are the 3 questions you should answer in looking at any franchise. One is, do you believe in the long-term growth of the industry, because it's very hard in an industry that's flat or declining to claw away market share from other established competitors. So me personally, I was looking for an industry that had long-term growth potential. Number two, do you believe in the underlying business model of that franchise? Because you can have a great industry and have a business model that doesn't work. So you have to get into the building a pro forma, looking at what the potential revenue is and what that would produce. And then the third question I'd tell people to ask is, can you see yourself fitting culturally with the organization, whether that's the management team that you'll be working with at the franchise, the people you'd be working with in the business, and the other franchisees in the system? Do you see yourself being able to get along and work with those groups and have confidence that these people can lead a brand forward? So I think if you can answer all three of those questions yes, then you really have something that you ought to investigate carefully and proceed with.
Wow, that's well said. We have what's called a great quotes in franchising. I think we're going to have to put that in there. I think that's it. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next week with another edition of Franchise Interviews. Take care, everyone.